Hey all you little chibis out there, Key here. In case you're wondering what took me so fucking long to make this review, I'll actually get to that. This is a review on Armageddicon 2012, which is an anime convention, that was held on the weekend that was supposed to be the Apocalypse, December 21st. Now, I'm not going to say that this convention was terrible, because it wasn't, that would be a lie, but it was my least favorite. I will admit that much. Out of all the conventions I've been to, which is quite a few, I don't even know how many. I'd have to go through and count, but it was definitely no. I don't know. I'm conflicted. Well, first off, it's just been a terrible weekend for me. And it has nothing to do with the convention. It's just I was just having so much bad luck. I mean, first off, just hours before I went to leave for the convention, I got a terrible virus on my computer that was extremely annoying. It would not die. It was just not working out, so I had to completely rebuild my entire computer, which is very frustrating. It's also why it took me so long to make this, is because, and why it's such terrible quality, is because I just have managed to update it enough so that the webcam and everything works. It's still really bad delay and stuff. But so first off, virus on my computer hours before I had to leave. Said fuck it, just turned off my computer. Got changed into my cosplay, which is Inari from Guilty Crown, and then went to the convention. Now the registration it was not well planned. Now, when you go to a convention, a lot of times when you get your badge, they're pre-made, and then they put them in these little plastic square slip things with maybe like a lanyard or a pin that you can put on your costume, whatever, so that people can see it and it doesn't get ruined or something. That's why they have it in the plastic sleeve. Now, they didn't plan this very well, because even if you pre-registered, when you go, you show them your ID, they have to look up your name in their computer and all that, and they get your ID, but it's not set yet. So like it's literally just a piece of paper. And so what they did is they took that piece of paper, turn around, put a sticker on it, and then after that, then they put them into the sleeve, and then they put the pin in the sleeve, and it took so long. It took about 5 minutes for each person if you pre-registered. And they should be able to have had all that done ahead of time, so you could just show your ID, they give you your badge, and off you go. Now, if you didn't pre-register, it took much longer. You had to fill out the form, which was in the middle of the line, which is a really weird place to do it. But, you had to fill out the form, you had to show them your ID, it took them way longer than it should have. I'm pretty patient though, so I didn't really care that much at the time. But now that I look back on it, I realize it did annoy a lot of people, and they should have planned that out much better than they did. Overall, though, it is just a minor little thing. And then another thing I noticed is they ran out of schedules. Like, I came Friday, there wasn't hardly anyone there, and yet they still didn't have enough schedules. And I was there fairly early. So that was a problem too. They printed more off and gave them out on Saturday and stuff, but they still kept running out because they just didn't print enough. Like, they didn't plan ahead well enough, and it was just, planning wasn't quite there yet. And I was also disappointed with the panels themselves. There weren't very many at all. I mean, on Friday it didn't even start until 4 o'clock, the first panel. Normally it starts about 9 a.m. And then all the good ones, of course, were 18 up, but it is a college-based convention, so that's not really surprising. I expected that. But there weren't very many good panels in general. It just kind of bothered me. I mean, hold on. I have a schedule here. Sorry, I'm swinging you around. My computer's on my lap. I'm downloading 50 things right now. This is not organized well either. But yeah, like, it just didn't have very good panels at all. I mean, I don't know. It bothered me. Yeah, it started at 4 p.m. on Saturday. or Friday, sorry, and then on, okay, this bothered me. This is the Sunday schedule. Do you say Sunday written on there anywhere? I see Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. No Sunday. It's just very confusing, but whatever. Yeah, like for example, Sunday, all there was Animas, which I'm not Christian and no. Breakfast, superhero anime, staff picks, closing ceremonies. That's about it. I mean, there just were not very many good panels at all. It was very disappointing. There were some good ones though. Yaoi Yuri, I didn't go to those ones because we accidentally went to the wrong panel room. We went to the one next to it instead, which was Weirdest Hentai. That was quite amusing, I will admit that. And then there was a chat roulette smarts. That was a bit disappointing, but I mean that wasn't the panelists' fault. That was just the people that we got on Omegle. And there were a lot of technical difficulties at several panels throughout the convention. But I mean, again, that's not exactly their fault. That's just the way things were. I don't know. There's just like, I personally was not interested in a lot of these panels. Like for example, a feminist perspective on anime. Being a bro at cons. My life in Japan. Guess Ahoy. I don't know, there just were not a lot of good things. There were some really, really, really good panels. Like there was one held by +2 Comedy, which was hilarious. I loved it. But like I said, panels were disappointing. The dealer's room was really small as well. They didn't sell any knives at all, which surprised me. Normally they have several vendors that are selling different types of knives. There was one that had kunais and stuff, lifesteal, but he only had about 8 swords total. Very expensive, of course, but it just, there wasn't very much there, and it was very disappointing. There were only, I think, 1, 2, 3, yeah, there were 6 vendors in the dealer's room, well, the actual room. There were 3 outside, and then there were a few Artist Alley vendors, but that was it. I mean, if you can count them off the top of your head, you know there weren't very many. This isn't a brand new convention either. This has been going on for quite a while. Anime Punch is fairly large, or it should have been. There really weren't very many people there, but that's probably because it was right before Christmas, I think, too. And then on Friday, again, I have terrible luck this weekend. I don't know what's wrong with me. Practically molested on Friday because I went to Hentai Olympics thinking that you just watch hentai. I'm like, oh, that would be funny. No, you are the hentai. Not gonna go into that. So basically, if you ever go to an Anime Punch convention, don't go to Hentai Olympics unless you know what you're getting yourself into. I didn't volunteer. I was volunteered by other people around me. I was not comfortable doing it, but that's a different story. Still kind of scarred about that and upset. And it ruined my costume, by the way. So I can't show you my Inori costume. I was going to do a whole thing showing all my different cosplays for my new channel, but it's completely ruined now because of paint that the people said would wash out, but it did not. They lied. It was acrylic paint. Did not come out of my costume at all. It was brand new. Paid like about, I'd say between materials and stuff, about $200. Including wig and stuff, and it's completely destroyed. I'm pissed. Really pissed about that. They really needed to look into that. Make sure any things that they give you do wash out of clothes. If anyone knows the people who ran that panel, I would pass that word on, saying like if you use paint, whatever, make sure it washes out of clothes. I'm still really upset that that completely ruined my cosplay. It was brand new. Ugh, still mad. Then Saturday I got roundhouse kicked in the face because someone tried to do a cartwheel in the hallway, and then next thing I know, I just feel 2 feet hit me in the head and I'm on the floor. That was interesting. And then it was just not a good weekend for me. I mean, A lot of it didn't even really have to do with the convention being bad. It was just I was having terrible luck. They actually did have some food, which I was surprised. It was unbelievably expensive, but what do you expect? I mean, they had some vendors. There was like a hot dog stand. This one guy who was selling like smoothies and stuff. Uh, yeah, just a bunch of things. I don't know. I really didn't like it at all. But I think it's just my own personal bad luck issues I was having. That was to blame. I don't know. And it got boring. I mean, if I didn't know people there, I would have gotten bored out of my mind. Which is not something you want to hear about a convention at all. Uh, oh yeah, I went to the rave for like 2 seconds. It was because I actually only went because I was freezing cold. So, but because I don't really like raves. I always go to them anyway. I don't know why, but I never know what to do with myself there. But it was probably the worst rave I've ever seen. Um, there wasn't very many people there. It was very bright in the room, so like they did have some lasers, which were pretty cool. But yeah, and it was freezing in there. Like it was colder than it was in the hallway, and that really threw me off. Because normally you'd think it'd be really hot in there. That's why I went, because I was cold, and it wasn't. I don't know. Overall, I would not suggest going. As just if you're expecting to have like some amazing huge convention, I was just going to OhioCon instead, which is in January. But Anime Punch was a disappointment for me, and I heard the same from several other people I know. Panels, there weren't very many good ones. The it cost way more than it should have, considering in the long run. I feel like I wasted a lot of money. It was just I don't know. I didn't like it. I really didn't. I mean, it wasn't. I know I heard bad things being with, but it wasn't nearly as bad as I had heard it was. I'll admit that. But it wasn't. It was boring. It was the main thing that really got me. And then the dealer's room closed really early on Sunday. I mean, I know everything's closing up on Sunday, but it closed even earlier than you'd expect. I was only there for 2 hours Sunday because there's nothing going on. I just went to the dealer's room and got a bunch of stuff that was on sale just because I could. But really, I was so disappointed with that convention. Yeah, that's my review on Armageddicon 2012. I don't know, I mean, I would suggest going on Saturday only, I guess I would say. Like, I'd suggest going for one day, either Friday or Saturday. Don't bother paying for Sunday. It's not worth it. And then, I don't know. I wouldn't suggest going the whole weekend. I mean, it's not worth all the money it costs to go, and I mean, it's okay. It really is. I mean, it's not terrible, but at the same time, it's just there isn't much interesting things going on. It's just you bring people you know, so you have something to do. Bring lots of money for food, or bring your own food, which is what I normally do. I don't know. It was disappointing, all in all. Yeah, and then the way it was laid out, like where everything was in the hotel, and the shape of the hotel in general was kind of awkward. It wasn't terrible. It was a bit awkward though, just the way everything was together. I don't know. I was disappointed. So yeah, that's my review. Out of 10 stars, I would give it 6, maybe. 10 being the best. Yeah, about a 6. I mean, the best part was hanging out with friends. I mean, but it was just, I did not like it at all. Disappointment. So yeah, I'm gonna work on getting my computer fixed so you don't see so much lag. And so I can start playing my games again. I lost a lot of files, so all those videos I made previously gone because they got corrupted from the damn virus. But I did save some files, so maybe I can salvage something, or just remake it. It's not too hard. Yeah, it's that. Okay, bye.